I have nothing planned for this intro. I mainly just wanted to show off my outfit. My favorite holiday is tomorrow, and I've been prepping all month. I've been prepping both mentally and mainly just mentally. In preparation, I've worn pink or red, or both, and I've been stuffing my face with chocolate every day of February so far, because I am a firm believer that chocolate is good for your skin, but only in February. One thing I have not done for preparation, though, is make my Valentine's dress. Challenge number 1, make a dress in a really small time frame. Again, my goal for this dress is for it to have a Kardashian Fashion Nova-y feel while still being classy. So, you know, challenge number 2. But first, now that you've seen this outfit, I'm going to change. More comfortable. Like the start of all great and many awful projects, this one began with a sketch. The dress itself, I'm happy with. I think I want to go with something like that. The sketch, however, I give it a 4, maybe 3.5 out of 10. Like this pose, she looks uncomfortable, like a freshman going to homecoming without a date, and like not even in a group of people. Her mom's like, pose, and she's like...
From Joann's, I got a little over 2 yards of this red two-way stretch jersey knit. You know, I know what you're really dying to know is how much I paid for this. Well, after my 50% off coupon, it ended up being about $8, which is a lot for me to pay for fabric, but taking into account how much this little garment sold for on fashionnova.com, I feel a bit more justified. I cut the dress out to be floor length, knowing that it would get hecka short really fast as soon as I started ruching. Then I laid down and traced myself. Then, when I decided to fold the fabric in half and cut it, I couldn't see what I traced anymore, so I decided to just wing it because I was running out of time, I was frustrated, it was already the evening before Valentine's Day, and
I made a mistake. I made this waistline way too small. Like that's not gonna fit. So I'm gonna have to add a strip of fabric down the middle of it. That's what we'll do.
And I did. After cutting some armpit holes and a neckline, I cut the dress in half down the middle. Then I cut a doubled up strip of fabric to go right in the middle. Now, if you are so silly as to wonder why I'm making a ruched dress, and ruched means like bunchy, well, this style is notorious for hiding food babies, and if you didn't come out of Valentine's Day with a food baby, you did it wrong. Now go eat some chocolate. Now what I'm doing here is I'm tracing my Greatest Showman cane and making a straight line right down the middle of my doubled up piece of fabric. I'm going to sew right along that line, right in the middle of our 2 pieces. Next, I will nonchalantly show off my manicure while telling you to sew a line on either side of that line, each one a pinky width apart. And now I leave you to wonder, is this time-lapse or was she really rushing that hard? Well, I was rushing because I needed this dress done for Valentine's Day because I had big plans, and you're thinking, big plans? I thought you were single. Well, am I single or is my boyfriend just in a different nation? Yes, he is, my imagination. Anyway, then I pinned and sewed that strip of fabric to the inside opening of one of the front panels of my dress. Side note, I swear I do not remember having that many barrettes in my hair. Next, I utilized many of my long fingers to pin that other panel of dress to that strip. Then I sewed that in place and fashioned the neckline with a rolled hem. I now wonder if there are any seamstresses offended by the term hem and instead call it a her.
I'm just gonna trim off all these extra little thingies. Not gonna lie, I sort of wish I would have used a higher quality fabric like spandex or something. My sewing machine just does not handle cheap knits very well. She's too bougie. My machine detests cheap knits the way an LA girl detests GMOs in her food.
At this point in time, my elderly father arrived home from work, and I decided risking him having a heart attack was worth the momentary pleasure of trying to startle him. I suppose it's a good thing it didn't work.
Then I began narrating in a Minnie Mouse voice because I was afraid this video was getting boring.
Then I decided to stop for fear of being obnoxious. Then I cut the back panel of my dress down the middle. Then I cut 2 strips of fabric about as long as a longboard and about as wide as 2 fingers. I folded them in half long ways and sewed along the edge.
So to turn this loop, I'm gonna use this gleaming thing. I think it's called a bodkin. I don't know exactly how you're supposed to use it, but this is how I figured out how to. Slide it in there, sew the edge onto it. There's probably an actual better method of doing this. I just don't know what it is. You just push it through.
I feel like it's probably a sin to be as obsessed with my own fingernails as I obviously was when filming this. Remember like 20 seconds ago when we cut that back panel in half? Well, that's going to come into play now. You're going to lay them... My phone just made a noise. Lay them right sides together with the front, and then when you sew them together, bunch as you go. The key to making these bunches hang naturally is to be as absent-minded as possible while sewing them. I recommend occupying your thoughts with the world's cutest animal, the baby raccoon. Next, use a bodkin or safety pin to slide those little strap things into the channels you made in that little strip of fabric in the front. I like how I say straps that you made, but you probably didn't and probably won't make this dress. You're just watching to... I really don't know why. But on the off chance that you are making this dress, now is the time when you sew it shut along the straps in the back, bunching it as you go.
Because of my little blunder earlier, I don't have enough fabric for the sleeves anymore, so I'm gonna have to go out to Joann Fabrics and get some fabric to make the sleeves. I need to stop trying to be Ariana Grande. You like my hair? I just bought it like 6 years ago.
On the voyage to Joann's, I saw so many abandoned carts that I began to think either the rapture happened or people are irresponsible. After procuring the cloth I was in need of, I returned to my dwelling and made the huge mistake of outlining my sleeve with Sharpie. What possessed me to do this, the world may never know. I had to make the sleeve a little smaller than anticipated, but it's okay because stretchy fabric is forgiving.
It is 11:44 and I am done. I would have gotten done a lot sooner if I hadn't gone to the Dollar Tree after I went to Joann's, but it was a really fun experience at the Dollar Tree. There was this like middle-aged guy there, and okay, sometimes guys open doors for you, and that's great, but sometimes they don't, and that's fine too, because some guys probably have it in their mind that some girls don't like the doors open for them. Rumor has it that some girls find it disrespectful when you open the door for them. This guy really must have thought I was one of those girls, because he took it one step further. As he was walking out and I was walking towards the door. You know, it's just, this really needs a reenactment, but I am the only one awake in this house right now, so it'll have to wait till tomorrow.
In the following reenactment, Kylie will play the part of Micarah, and Micarah will play the part of the middle-aged man. As the man was exiting the Dollar Tree and Micarah was preparing to enter, he made eye contact with her and then turned around and slowly pushed the door shut. This has been a true story. Now allow me to waste more of your precious time by showing you this tutorial on how to enjoy Valentine's Day. Firstly, enter the kitchen and marvel at the sweet note and chocolates your dad left you. Next, decorate your coffee so ornately that you can't even taste a hint of coffee. Then I like to grab my Bible and let the space heater decide what page I read that day. Just kidding, on Valentine's Day, I usually read 1 Corinthians 13. Then I jam to a song called There Is a Way by New World Sun. There are also a couple of oldies classics that I highly recommend jamming to, but I cut the audio for those because I don't want to be sued for copyright infringement. However, if you can guess what those songs are by like reading my lips or something, you get 500 cool points. If you find it awkward to watch me dance without music playing in the background, trust me, it's just as bad when there is music. Next, head out to the mailbox and retrieve the card you received from your mother. It's a Hannah Montana luggage tag. Thank you. Next, you're going to want to invite my friend Kylie over to help make cookies.
Do you need me to?
If making a video, make sure you ask her permission to put her in the video.
Do you give your consent to be in a video? Yes.
Make some Valentine's-y cookies and then go out for some Galentine's ice cream.
Kylie and I just went to an ice cream place, and at the ice cream place, this old man in line asked if I would pay for his food. And I said, sure, okay. And he said,
I'm just kidding.
Then he said,
You wouldn't happen to be under 5'8", would you?
and I said, no, I'm 5'10". He said,
Oh, I'm looking for one about 5'8".
and then he went and sat down with two young 20s looking girls. He was very old. Not like my dad is very old, but very older than that even.
Oh, right, this video is supposed to be about me making a dress. Here's the grand reveal of that.
Time for dinner. I brought all my friends chocolates, but I'm making them answer trivia questions before I give them to them. Janessa's doing well, Courtney's doing well. That answers that. And JJ? But he's answered every question confidently. Wrong, but confidently.